The PDP have rejected the results of the September 21st, 2024 Edo State governorship election. PDP claims that the election was rigged by APC with government-controlled agency. They believe that the rigging undermines democracy in Nigeria. APC is accused of colliding with unpatriotic security operatives. INEC officials are accused of trampling on the will of the people. PDP, however, warned of APC's alleged plot to subvert the election. They alleged the involvement of AIG Ben Yu and Edo State Commissioner of Police. They accuses INEC of appointing APC sympathizers and called for the redeployment of certain officers were ignored. APC allegedly used compromised security operatives to manipulate election results, and security forces allegedly arrested and detained PDP members. PDP claims that APC manipulated the ballot process and substituted genuine results. They also asserted that their candidate, Dr. Asue Igadalo, clearly won the election. They stated that the altered results at the State Collation Center favored the APC candidate, who was declared winner of the Edo State governorship election. PDP also rejects the election results declared by INEC and claims that the election result does not reflect the will of the people. They claim that the election did not meet the minimum democratic standard and demand that INEC review the election under Section 65 of the Electoral Act. PDP also urges INEC to announce results based on genuine polling unit figures and calls for international and national solidarity in rejecting the results. They believe that the people of Edo State choose Dr. Asua Idogolo as governor of the state. They insisted that only the true will of the people should be recognized. The PDP urged Edo residents to remain firm and undeterred and vows to retrieve the mandate through legal means. The party acknowledges election observers groups' concerns about the results. Civil society group issued statement on election irregularity. Concerns were raised about discrepancy in the results. Election observers noted issues with the collation process, overvoting, and differences between uploaded and declared results were flagged. PDP emphasizes the importance of submitting evidence of election manipulation. Nigerians are encouraged to actively participate in the review process, and PDP highlights that technology used in elections can be manipulated. They urge vigilance in preventing election technology manipulation. The CSO focus on problems with the collation process. Political leaders are criticized for undermining the electoral process. PDP calls for holding political leaders accountable for elections integrity. They emphasizes the need for electoral reform in Nigeria. The central issue is that the PDP claims that the recent Edo State governorship election held on September 21st, 2024 was rigged. According to the PDP, the All Progressive Congress APC manipulated the process with the support of security agencies and INEC officials. In simple terms, the PDP is saying that the people of Edo State did not get to choose their governor fairly because the election was interfered with. This alleged manipulation involved altering the actual votes and substituting them with fake members, which they believe handed victory to the APC candidates instead of their own, Dr. Aso Igodalo. From a critical standpoint, this is not just an accusation of unfairness, but an attack on the very foundation of democracy. Elections should represent the will of the people, and when the results are compromised, it undermines trust in the electoral system. The integrity of elections is what ensures that people's voices are heard, and any allegations of tampering, especially at such a scale, need to be taken seriously. This leads us to question the effectiveness of the institution in place to protect democratic processes. The PDP's national chairman argues that INEC did not uphold the democratic process and calls for an immediate review of the election results. The party highlights issues such as violence, voter intimidation, and the manipulation of vote counts at various polling units. They claim that their candidate, Dr. Asua Ighodalo, actually won the election based on the votes collected at polling stations, but that the results were altered during the collation process to favor the APC candidates. It is essential to consider the role of institutions like INEC and security agencies in ensuring free and fair elections. If the PDP's claims are true, this not only damages the credibility of INEC, but also points to systemic issues within the political and electoral landscape of Nigeria. Elections should not be about who can manipulate the system better, but about who can win the trust and votes of the people. If political interference or manipulation by powerful entities is at play, democracy becomes more of a game of power than a reflection of the people's will. A significant part of the PDP's grievances involves the alleged collusion between APC, security operatives, and INEC officials. The PDP claims that these parties work together to harass, arrest, and intimidate their supporters. Additionally, they suggest that these officials manipulated the vote collation process, swapping out genuine results with false ones to ensure that the APC candidate was declared the winner. This raises serious concerns about the impartiality of the institutions that are supposed to safeguard the election process. When security forces and electoral officials, who should be neutral, are accused of partisanship, it creates a dangerous precedent. It signals to the public that those who are supposed to protect the integrity of democratic process can be bought or coerced, leading to widespread disillusionment. Trust in these institutions is critical for maintaining peace and ensuring that election outcomes are accepted by all parties. One of the main points raised in the report was the discrepancy between the results uploaded electronically and those declared officially. While technology was supposed to ensure transparency, the PDP and election observers noted that the final results were not consistent with what had been recorded at the polling units. This opened up the debate on whether the technology can be fully trusted in such contests. While technology is often heralded as a solution to electoral fraud, this incident highlights its limitations. The manipulation of digital platforms shows that technology alone cannot fix deeply rooted political problems. Without proper oversight and accountability, even the most advanced system can be compromised. This suggests a need for stricter enforcement and transparent auditing of digital election processes. This incident is more than just about who won or lost the Edo State election. It is a reflection of the state of Nigeria's democracy. If elections continue to be marred by violence, manipulation, and interference, it not only erodes trust, but also discourages citizens from participating in the process. The PDP call for legal means to reclaim what they describe as a stolen mandate is crucial because it points to the need for a robust legal system that can address electoral disputes fairly and transparently. On a larger scale, the frequent reports of election rigging and manipulation across Nigeria point to a crisis of leadership and governance. Leaders who undermine democratic processes for their gain are eroding the very values they are meant to uphold. It raises the question of what kind of political culture is being fostered in the country. If the system continues to reward such behaviors, how can citizens trust their leaders to act in their best interest? This analysis isn't just about Edo State or the PDP. It is about the future of democracy in Nigeria. It is about your voice, your vote, and the kind of leaders you want to elect. When elections are manipulated, it is not just a political party that loses, the people lose. It is crucial to stay informed, demand accountability from leaders, and engage in discussions on how to improve the electoral process. Do you think the PDP's claims are valid? What should be done to ensure that elections are fair and reflect the will of the people? How can institutions like INEC and security forces be made more accountable? The PDP's rejection of the Edo State governorship election results raises fundamental questions about the integrity of Nigeria's electoral process, from allegations of rigging to the manipulation of technology. The election underscores the challenges Nigeria faces in building a truly democratic system. Engaging with this discussion is not only important for understanding this particular incident, but also for promoting the long-term health of Nigeria's democracy. I will play the video for you guys to watch and see for yourself. Feel free to share your thoughts, opinion, and comments. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on the notification icon to be notified whenever I drop new updates.
Thank you, sir. So anybody that won't move now can move.
Yes. Our democracy and political stability of our dear nation that I address you today. From unfolding political events in the country, the latest being the brazen rigging of the Saturday, September 21st, 2024 Edo State governorship election by APC in connivance with government control agencies. It's clear that our democracy is really under threat. As you know, and widely reported in all segments of the media, the 2024 Edo State governorship election, which was barefacedly compromised by the APC in collusion with unpatriotic security operatives and heavily procured INEC officials who viciously trampled on the votes of the people in defiance of the law and total disregard to the sovereign will of the people of Edo State. You may recall that the PDP has on several occasions alerted you people of this sinister plot by the APC to subvert the election and the roles allegedly being played by the AIG Zone 7 in person of Bennett Egwe and Edo State Commissioner of Police, and the appointment of a known apologist of the APC and supporter, Dr. Onoa, at the Edo State Resident Electoral Commission. Several demands by our party, both in written to the IG and INEC chairman, for the deployment of all these officers, which was tendered to them before the advent of this election, because of the suspicion and conspiracy to rig this election, which was actually given sign for this election, was neglected completely. Nigerians and the world watch in horror as the APC compromised security operatives and thugs unleashed terror, harassed, arrested, and detained PDP members and supporters, forced siege mentality before and on election day, and paved the way for its agents and procured INEC officials to manipulate the ballot process, substitute genuine results from the polling units with fictitious figures, and transfer the victory clearly won by our candidate, Asue Ighodalo, to the defeated APC candidate. As Nigerians already know, despite the violence, intimidation, and manipulations by the APC, results obtained from the polling unit show our candidate, Dr. Asue Ighodalo, clearly won the election before the figures were altered at the state coalition exercise in favor of the defeated APC candidate. The PDP therefore unequivocally rejects the final result of the Edo State governorship election as declared by INEC, as it did not meet the minimum standard for democracy, having not reflected the express will and aspiration in line with the provision of the Electoral Act 2022 and INEC guidelines for state governorship election. The PDP demands that INEC, within the time stipulated by Section 65 of the Electoral Act 2022, review the Edo State governorship election and announce results only as obtained from the genuine votes cast at the polling units. The PDP calls on all Nigerians and lovers of democracy all over the world to stand up in solidarity with the people of Edo in rejecting this assault on the democratic rights of the people as witnessed in the Edo State governorship election. The people of Edo State clearly choose Dr. Asue Ighodalo as the next governor of their state, and only their will, as expressed at the polling unit, must be allowed to stand. The PDP charges the people of Edo to remain resolute and undeterred as our party takes sure and firm steps to retrieve the mandate with every means legal and available in a democracy. Thank you for listening.
I only want to say, beyond what is in the in our statement, that the CDD also has joined, issued a statement with a number of other election observation groups about some aspects of the elections, particularly relating to the collation of the results. I will not say much about that in our report because that is part of a general report that has been given out with the broader network of observer groups from Nigeria that covered the off-cycle elections in Edo State. I'm sure INEC will do that, will review that to make sure that there are no breaches of the law. And I think it will be presumptive for us to make any categorical statement about that now. You know, since the results are not before us, these are from our observers. You know, so I think, but it is important that we've highlighted these problems. You know, the question of overvoting and the question of the difference between what was uploaded and what was declared. And I think moving forward, I think within that 7-day window, that all those who have information should submit them to INEC, and you make it public also. So I think this is an opportunity for Nigerians to take an active part, because I think there are questions, definitely questions, about the discrepancy between what was uploaded and what was finally recorded. But technology can be manipulated, and we need to be very, very alert that it is not the answer. People find ways of going around it, and I think it's very, very important that you do this. So that was why we highlighted this in our reports as well. And that was why I also started off by saying that unusually for the CSOs to come together and make specific comments about a specific aspect of the process, namely, problems with the collation process. But I think it's also ought to be emphasized that at the root of all of this is the attitude of our political leaders, the political class, in terms of going out to undermine the process. And I think we need to shift our focus towards that and seeing how we should be able to make also the political leaders accountable to us in terms of how they view elections. We cannot keep on going on like this. And I think that's my own personal opinion. But I think it's important that you in the press also keep on highlighting this.